If you're African American, now I'm not trying to start anything, but if you're African American, the Bible is not made for you. And what I mean by that is, can we just jump back and look at all the justifications for slavery that was used in early America, all because of Bible verses? A common chapter to use was Genesis 9, where it talks about the curse of Ham, which through mental gymnastics became one of the main reasons why they justified slavery. Then they used Ephesians and Colossians to emphasize obedience and showed how it was divinely sanctioned. And then, of course, you've just got the entirety of the Old Testament, which talks a lot about slaves and how to treat them and what to do when they run away. And this was used so much during this time, and yet I see so many African Americans that are just gung-ho for Christ. They are gung-ho for the Bible. You can see it in these churches that are dominated by African Americans, where they love God. They love Him more than anything. And it just boggles my mind that an atrocity as horrible as what happened here with slavery that went on for way too long, I just cannot believe that this is ingrained within a certain sect of the African American culture. I mean, like, is this not something that bothers you? If you're African American, does this not bother you? If you are an African American Christian, does it not bother you that the Bible was used to justify owning slaves, beating slaves, hurting slaves? I mean, it is atrocious. Not that I need to say anything, obviously, but it boggles my mind. Where is the justification for that? Where is anything for that? Why would you believe in a God that did that? And don't bring up the Egyptian thing, because historically I don't think anybody can really find much on Israel being enslaved by the Egyptians, to be honest with you.
I don't know what to say, but
all right, hey, shalom, shalom, shalom. First and foremost, giving all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rakaha, Kwadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders at Great Millstone, of whom I learn from each and every day. Healthy shalom to the brothers out there doing the work in truth and sincerity. Ooh, damn, Salakia, brother is beat today, you know. And it's and you know, I got this clip from elder from South Carolina, but not the Zakbar. Shalom to the elder. Much love to the beloved elder. Okay? And it's very interesting. It just, you know, he perceived to be an Edomite. He probably is. Now, there was another clip that he put of this guy. I'm going to say, first and foremost, fair use, fair use, fair use. And I got to say that. There's a reason. I'll let you know here in a minute. But every time a Edomite speaks, yes, they definitely put their feet in their, I say feet, in their mouth. Since lucky, I'm really, really beat right now. Right? And I'm working on trying to get my channel back. That's another story. I may tell it later. I can say this. It involves Guerrilla Hebrew. It had a hand in taking my main channel down. I'm just saying. I can prove it too. I got the receipts. But, okay, so yeah, he did put his foot in his mouth when he said, look, there is no record, you know, anywhere that you can find, even if you look hard enough, where the so-called Israelis, right? Where they were in slavery in Egypt. Matter of fact, were in slavery any damn where. Now, we all know, all right, that King David had their ass in subjection, under subjection, right? But they're going to go back to that. Jeremiah 30th chapter. Isaiah 14. Let's see, it was a Baruch. It's a multitude of scriptures, right? So, again, let's jump on into it. Let's start here. I'm going to leave his face up, and I'm just going to do it like this. Let's go to Salakia, give me one moment. Oh, Psalms. Let's go to the book of Psalms, 147 and verse 19. He showeth his word unto Jacob, his statutes and his judgment unto Israel. Jacob is the progenitor of the 12 tribes of Israel, so-called blacks, Latinos, Native Americans, and don't get it twisted by any means. Speckled bird. Rather, Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai has scattered us to the four corners of the earth. That's the Israelites. Okay, so when this guy says African American, it's the Bible's not for you because they use this to justify this or that, blah blah blah. Well, the scriptures also tell you right back in Genesis, which he mentioned, all right, that the Job 9 and verse 24, that the earth is given to the hand of the wicked. Who is in charge right now? You go to the book of Deuteronomy, the 28th chapter, and it tells you right there in verse 15. What does it say? If thou wilt not hearken unto the voice Yahweh thy power, then what? Then all these curses shall come upon thee. Many different curses. Go back and read Deuteronomy 28th chapter on your own. Verse 20. He had not dealt so with any nation. As for his judgments, you hear this? They have not known them. Praise ye the Lord Yahweh, our power. All right. As for his judgments, well, let's go to it. Let's go to the book of Deuteronomy in verse 28. Let's do that. All right. Let's read verse 1. Deuteronomy 28 and verse 1. He said a lot of different things. Okay. And, you know, some of these people are just put up there, like the elder said in this video, is an excellent video, by the way, to reinforce that African American thing, you know, on so-called black people, right? So-called black people, and also the black thing, and just to reinforce that. He said he's talking about the curse of Ham. Now, wait a minute. Wait a second. You can go to the book of Joel, the 3rd chapter, and what does it say? That Ham sold Israel to the Grecians. Okay? So if the so-called black people, you know, I'll just have to say it like that, so-called African Americans, that's how I'll say it. If they were what sold to the Grecians and the Hamites were the one that sold them, well, how does that make us African American? You see, it makes no sense. He totally put his foot in his mouth. And again, no such evidence ever of Israelis going into slavery in Egypt. Matter of fact, they were the ones financing the slave ships. Deuteronomy 28 verse 68. Deuteronomy 28 verse 48. Deuteronomy 28 verse 45. You see? Simple and plain, man. Yeah, it's very clear. It's the history it's all there. All right, the history is there. It's in the prophecies that this would happen. You know, and in the other clip, I should have played the other clip. I'm not going to. All right, again, fair use, fair use, fair use. I'm just saying. All right, because there's some sensitive, weak ass punks out there. All right, that can't take reproof. I'm just saying. Again, that's gonna be. I'll go into it. That's gonna be a whole nother lesson. But okay. Again, in the scriptures, where did it say Babylon, or the great whore, aka America, right, is going to be in league with Israel? Matter of fact, it tells you the complete opposite. It said that they shall not regard the elderly. They shall only oppress us, the Israelites, so-called blacks, Latinos, Native Americans. All right. Again, Joel. Let's read Deuteronomy 28 verse 4, 28 verse 1. All right, and it shall come to pass if thou, who the Israelites, if thou shalt hearken diligently unto the voice of the Lord Yahweh thy power, to observe and to do all his commandments, which I command thee this day, then the Lord Yahweh thy power will set thee on high above all the nations on the earth. Now, we didn't do that. We can jump down to verse 15. And the reason why we didn't do that is because we're whoring after other idols, other gods. AKA one of them is that punk ass Jeebus, man. All right, Cesare Borgia. Okay, and along with other things, even wood and stone, as it said in Deuteronomy 28. It's right here. Okay, going a whoring after other gods. Verse 15. But it shall come to. Oh Lord. Hey, what happened? Damn. Dogs have just flipped out. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord Yahweh thy power, to observe and to do all his commandments and the statutes which I command thee this day, that all these curses, what's a curse? It's not a good thing. You remember the scripture said the Lord chastises the one he loves. This is his way of punishing us for going off a whoring. All right? So when you got Slakia, call hello Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shah. So when you got a guy like this saying it's not for you, but and because they used the Bible for this and that, well, the scripture said that they were going to be confederate, and there was other nations that did it too. You see? In the book of Psalms 83, I'll get it. I might as well just grab it. All right? To do all his commandments and his statutes which I command thee this day, all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee. That's why we're last hired, first fired. That's why we get trotted down in the streets by the centurions. Okay, that's why thou shall be only oppressed and spoiled forevermore. The scripture says it right here. Let's go to it. Deuteronomy 28. I'm already here. Verse 45. Moreover, all these curses shall come upon thee and shall pursue thee. What happens when you pursue somebody? You follow them. And this is forever until what? Yahushua comes back and sets everything right. Remember the prophecies. You got to stay occupied in prophecies. The book of Sirach 39 verse 1. See? And overtake thee till thou be destroyed, because thou hast hearkened not unto the voice of the Lord Yahweh thy power, to keep his commandments and the statutes which he command thee. Verse 15, right? Okay. Let's jump down to 48. Therefore shalt thou serve thine enemies. And one of my favorite scriptures is Jeremiah 30 verse 16. We'll get that in a minute. Therefore what? Thou shalt thou serve thine enemies, which the Lord Yahweh shall send against thee. That's the reason. Because we went off and we didn't listen to what he told us to do. So he chastising his children. Would you trust? Would you believe in a God that would do? Well, of course. What does a good father do? He punishes his children when they go to hell off. Why would he not? See, that's crazy. Therefore shall thou serve thy enemies, which the Lord. He doesn't understand the Bible at all, man. He don't get it, because these words are not for him. I just read Psalms 147, verse 19 through 20. All right, and shall sin against thee in hunger and in thirst and in nakedness and in want of all things, and he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck until he have destroyed thee. And Salakia, timer's going off. And yes, the elder went. And it may seem repetitive or whatever. It doesn't matter. We got to show you these things. You go to a simple Google search, and what do you see? You type in yoke of iron, what do you see? You see a so-called black man. You see an Israelite, Jacob, right? With a yoke of iron upon his neck. And when you ever see that with these Israelis, with these small hatters, you don't never see that. They were the ones that was funding everything, okay? Hey, put the book down. It's done. This guy cooked himself. And as the elder said, thanks for putting your foot, admitting that there's no record of Amalek going into slavery, especially with ships. Deuteronomy 28, verse 68. They owned the damn ships. They funded it. You see? My goodness. All right, verse 49. The Lord Yahweh shall bring a nation against thee from far, from the end of the earth, even at the end of the earth, as swift as the eagle flieth. And whose symbols, whose symbol is the eagle? Yep, the Edomites. Even the Romans, the Germans, all of them. They all got that eagle, man. The book of Obadiah tells you that. And they prideful, man. See? So this guy may have been put here, to try to deceive, because that's what Esau Edom does. All right, even swift as the eagle flies, a nation whose tongue thou shalt not understand, and a fierce nation. What? A nation of fierce countenance, which shall not regard the person of old, nor show favor to the young. See that? So that Yahweh Shem Yahushua said he sent put us in under submission, under the basis of men in the book of Job. This is easy, man. It's easy work. Okay. Let's jump on down to verse 66. And thy life shall hang in doubt before thee, and thou shalt fear day and night. You hear? And shall have no assurance of thy life. This is plain and simple. In the morning thou shalt say, what power? Would power? All right, Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai. Salaki, I'm extremely tired. Whew, man, crazy heat today. Anyway, it were even, and at even thou shalt say, would the Most High power where mourning for the fear of thine heart, which is your mind, wherewith there shall fear, and for the sight of thine eyes, which thou shalt see. Verse 28. And the Lord Yahweh shall bring thee into Egypt again. Go to the book of Exodus. I believe it's 20th chapter. And that word Egypt is going into bondage. Remember, the scripture said, Baruch 3 and verse 8, we are yet to stay in our captivity. See, where what? Yahweh Bashem Yahushai has scattered us to be a reproach subject to payments. You see? He scattered us for a reason, because we went off. Deuteronomy 28, verse 15. See, he does not understand the Bible at all. All right, by the way whereof I spake unto thee, thou shalt see it no more again, our homeland, right? Our homeland. And as a matter of fact, that's another cut right there. The scriptures very plainly told you that Jacob is going to discontinue from his heritage. But these people over there in the land talking about, we've always known who we are. You see? But in the land of their captivities, they shall remember themselves. That's what the scripture said. See? Thou shalt see it no more again, and there ye shall be sold to your enemies for bondmen, slave men, and bondwomen, slave women, and no man shall buy you. It's an old Quaker word for redeem, because our Redeemer is strong, the chief cornerstone. That's Yahushai. See? Yes, sir. And his name damn sure ain't Jebus. All right, it's Yahushai in the Hebrew tongue. You understand? And the Lord's name is Yahweh, man, the Father. Okay? See, these people don't understand that. There was a guy in a Lowe's Hardware today where I was picking up some supplies for work, right? All right? You know, and he's sitting there and he looked back at everybody and he said, I hope everybody has a blessed day. You know, I looked at him, I said, you know what? I said, every day above ground is a blessed day. You know, then he looked at me, he said, always keep Jesus Christ in your heart. Right? An old ass Edomite, and you could tell he had that entitled, privileged look like he knew something over somebody else. You know? And the scripture said that he chooses you, you don't choose him. And it's all about the elect, and that's what's up. Joel 2 and verse 27. And ye shall know that I am in the midst of Israel, and that I am the Lord Yahweh your power, and none else. And my people should never be ashamed. See, and that great awakening is happening right here in Babylon. See, we had to go off. I mean, we had to go off. It's the way it was written. See, he's gonna punish the kings and the princes. Yeah, well, let's go ahead and get it. Let's get this first. Baruch 3 and verse 8. Behold, we, who? The Israelites. Have they refused to let us go? Right? We are yet this day in our captivity. That's another cut on them small hatters. Them 4-8ers, right? Where thou hast scattered us, listen, scattered us for a reproach and a curse. Where's that? Okay? Yeah, Deuteronomy 28 chapter. You understand that? Damn it. Oh, man, come on. Salakia. Behold, we are yet this day in our captivity, where thou hast scattered us for a reproach and a curse, and to be subject to payments. See? According to all the iniquities of our fathers which departed from the Lord Yahweh our power. And our fathers, which is us, you come back every third or fourth generation. It's simple. All right? I got a couple more and I'll close out. My goodness. Let's read this. Baruch 2 and verse 30. For I knew that they would not hear me, because it is a stiff-necked people. Listen. But in the land of their captivities, they shall remember themselves. That's the great awakening after 3 days and a half. We're in the spiritual Sodom in Egypt. Right there in Revelation 11 and verse 8. See, it's all right there. He really did put his foot in his mouth. And you can clearly see that he's clueless about the scriptures. Completely. Joel 3 and verse 6. The children of Judah and the children of Jerusalem, northern and southern kingdom, have ye sold to the Grecians, that ye might remove them far from their border. Who? Tyre and Zidon. So how in the world could we be African Americans? Americo Vespucci, Leo Scipio Africanus. Then you had the other guy, Asiaticus. See, it's not even possible. You know, if you don't have the eye salve and the understanding, that's that. All right, behold, I will raise them out of the place where ye have sold them, and will return your recompense upon your own head. Who is this talking about? And I will sell your sons and your daughters into the hand of the children of Judah. In the kingdom, their asses are getting sold, man. Hey, it's gonna be, it's gonna be rough and very hardcore on y'all, man. On you Edomites for sure. And that's that. You gotta pay, and the bill is due. All right, the children of Judah, and they shall sell them to the Sabians, to a people afar off, for the Lord Yahweh have spoken it. It's plenty left. So, I'll give you one more. I'll close out right there. Romans 9 verse 26. And it shall come to pass that in the place where it was said unto them, ye are not my people, there shall they be called the children of the living power. Boom! There it is. And my phone had to chime on that one. So this guy is way off. He doesn't understand the scriptures. Hey, and let him their tongue fall upon themselves. All right? So much going on. Damn. Anyway, giving all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Shalom. Boom! Every chance you get, chant this place down. Kwam Yasharala and Wa Abai Babal. Shalom, brothers and sisters.